All right, gang, I am really excited to share this video with you today. We are going to use ChatGPT to build a custom ChatGPT trained on your own FAQ or really any sort of knowledge that you want your chatbot to reference. And we're going to do this all with no code experience required. So let's get going into it. This is perfect for beginners. This video will guide you through the process of creating this basic customizable chatbot. We're going to use ChatGPT in various ways along with Google Colab. And we're going to begin learning some basic coding skills that are newly accessible with the introduction of ChatGPT. We're going to actually use it to create the code. You're going to get a great understanding of what ChatGPT is doing a little bit under the hood, enable you to make better use of this tool in a lot of different ways. So just think about this as a basic project and all the different things you might be able to use ChatGPT to create software to help you do. We're even going to look at how to limit the chatbot responses to specific topics. In this case, it's going to be gardening. That's just my example that I use here. And how to make it avoid answering unrelated questions. So that's something I've been had a lot of interest in, figuring out how to really control these AI models a little bit better. And really, I truly believe these are some of the most powerful skills. These are the foundational building block skills that are going to be pretty useful in the coming years. So there's just 6 steps here to this video. We're going to open a new Google Colab. If you've never used Google Colab, that's not a problem. But I do have a quick start video about that goes into that interface a little bit more and shows you more about how to use that in conjunction with ChatGPT. We're going to install the OpenAI software into the Colab with this very simple code, pip install OpenAI. We're going to create the code that we need using a ChatGPT prompt that I have ready for you. And that's going to be probably the hardest step. Not that it'll be hard, but the rest of this is just so easy. That one sticks out to me, I guess. We're going to copy and paste the code that ChatGPT created into Google Colab. And then we're going to update your API key in there so that we can connect it to your OpenAI API. And I'll really quickly run you through that if you've never done that before. And then we're going to copy in your FAQ information and just kind of show you how it works. And then at the end, we're going to talk about some different ideas and think about how we can even get this online to share with people in a very quick and easy way. So let's jump right into Google Colab. Let me switch windows here. When you first come to Google Colab, you're gonna find a window like this, and this window. Hold on just a second. I'm closing down another one. In this window, you're just gonna go into here, File, New Notebook. If you've never used Google Colab, it's a wonderful tool that'll help you get up and running with creating code and software very quickly and easily. All it is, in a very basic way, is on a very basic description of it, is that you're using Google's servers to run Python code without having to set up Python all on your own computer, which can be somewhat time consuming and a full skill that you need to learn of how to set that up. But anyway, this is a powerful tool, and once you get more and more advanced, it can connect to some massive computing power. So that you can, purchase that if you need that massive computing power to start. It's free. And all you need to do is connect here. And what you're doing here is connecting to Google servers. We're going to install the software, the OpenAI software, pip install OpenAI. And I'm just hitting enter. No, I'll just hit the play button. There are shortcuts for all this, but this will load in all of the OpenAI software, and just give that a second to run. That should not be a problem. And now what we're going to do is create the software that we need. So this is the prompt that we're going to use, and I try to make it as readable as possible. I'm sorry it's a little bit long here. So just, pause the video and jot that stuff down. I want to just talk to you a little bit about how I created this. I didn't start with this long prompt. I start with a very simple one like, hey, I want to create a chatbot. And it created some code, and that code was not quite what I wanted it to be. So then I said, you know what? I need the code to do this. I need the code to do that. And sooner or later, it created a very comprehensive snippet of code that does exactly what we want. Then I took that snippet of code and I put that back into ChatGPT, and I said, hey, what is a great prompt to create this snippet of code? And it came up with this, which has been working really well. And it really kind of gives you an outline of how to use natural language, our own, human language, English, to create software. This is just fantastic. I do have this available in a copy and paste format in my Patreon for just a few bucks. There's a cheat sheet that has all of this stuff in a very copy and paste format. There's also my own version of Google Colab in there that you can reference if you get stuck. So I'm going to copy this, and we're going to go into now we're going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to start a new chat. We're going to go into GPT-4, which is critical. And we're going to copy and paste this prompt in. We're going to run it, and we're going to watch this thing create the software that we need. And again, just think about all of the different things that you can do with this. I've used it to chop up different PDFs. I had a long PDF that I wanted it to just be a few different pages. I asked ChatGPT, can you create a script that chops up PDFs? And it gave me that I could use with the Collab notebook. It can do just so many different things. If you're ever kind of thinking about it, it's fun to experiment with, and it can be very quickly very useful to your day-to-day. Okay, so now we've got this code created, and it's looking pretty good. We're going to click this little clipboard and copy this back into our Google Colab notebook. If you scroll over this line, you press this code button. I'm going to click copy and paste. Now what we need is our OpenAI API key. So this is, if you've never done this, very easy. You're going to log into your OpenAI. This is just that platform, openai.com. Up here on the right, click on this View API Keys, and you'll be able to get your API key. And we're going to need to copy and paste that into here. You'll notice this has this OpenAI API key get envelope. That is a kind of a very secure way to add your OpenAI key. But we're going to do a little bit more of the caveman approach. And just grab the entire, we're going to override that snippet of code here with this snippet. And I am using one of my keys. I'm going to delete this key as soon as I finish this video, so don't even give that a try. But copy this entire thing. Sometimes the code will create it in this format. Sometimes it'll create it in the other format. It's just an interesting way when you're creating code from a prompt. It's going to be a little different each time, but copy over that code that we just had there. This code, this whole insert your OpenAI API key with your actual API key, and we're going to click play. We're going to see this user here. We're going to say hello to our new bot. Hello, how can I assist you today? Who are you? And it's going to tell us it's a large language model. I'm an AI language model designed to assist and answer frequently questions. So this is just the general ChatGPT that we're accessing here. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to do one more thing. It'll throw an error, but that's just because we stopped it. It's nothing to worry about. I'm going to change this text.davinci 003 with this GPT 3.5 Turbo. This is a newer version, and we're going to paste that in because the current GPT-4 that we use to create this code doesn't know of GPT 3.5 Turbo yet. So we just needed to update that. So we're using the best model here in both of these places. So now the deal is we are going to put in our FAQ. So here's an FAQ that I created. Messages, role, system, content. This is really all you need to be very careful about how you type this in, as well as what's at the bottom here. Getting that right is critical. But other than that, you can really experiment with what is going on in here. You can put in many more Q&A. I just did a few of these in order to, so there's not a ton, but don't feel like you need to copy all of this word for word. You do need this first line to be identical and this last line to be identical. Other than that, you can experiment with it. Using these slashes at the end, I think, is helpful. We'll copy this in to where it says messages. So we see messages here. Sometimes this says context, and you just need to make sure that matches whatever's in here to begin with. But right now we're going to copy and paste this over, and it's good when all of this shows up orange like this. That's a very good sign that the formatting is correct and that you got these beginning and ending things correct. So I'm going to run this one more time, and let's see. Let's try this again. Hello. Hello and welcome to Greenhaven Gardening. So you can see this is different than the generic version. It's now reading this FAQ. It's a very short FAQ. Again, you can put in many, many more questions and answers. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to ask it again. Who are you? Let's see what it says here. I'm an FAQ bot, an automated service to answer frequently asked questions about Greenhaven gardening. So very different than the general response we got last time. And then you can just say, how do I get started? Which is related to one of these questions here. And let's say get started with Greenhaven Gardening. Simply visit our website and browse the articles, etc. So it's referencing this Q&A. And again, you can put anything you want in here. You can test it out with all sorts of weird stuff, making it talk like Shakespeare or making it talk like, whoever you want. And now you have just used ChatGPT to create a customized version of ChatGPT and train that on your own FAQ. So this is an interesting line here at the bottom. I forgot to mention, I like to put in here, please decline to answer any questions that are not directly related to this FAQ. And that'll just keep the chatbot focused on really just this FAQ and not all of the knowledge that ChatGPT knows. And that's an option you can play with or not, but I think it's interesting to try to narrow it down to exactly what you're talking about here, which is the FAQ. So I hope you got a ton out of this video. Again, please check out my Patreon. I have a cheat sheet where you can copy and paste, especially that prompt, into your own Google Colab. I'll have a working version of the Google Colab in there, which you'll just need to put your API key in case you get stuck. And I have a ton of other cheat sheets in there, all different sorts of prompt sequences and things that I've found valuable. And I'm building out even more every day. I also have some one-on-one coaching available in there. If you're really serious about this and want to chat with me, I'd love to sit down and figure out what you're working on. And please stay tuned. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to take this script and get it online in a very basic, fast, free way so you can kind of show it off and show your friends what you've created. So stay tuned for that. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. It is super helpful trying to get a new channel off the ground. If you got something out of this, that goes a long way. And thanks again for watching.